Wait, no 60-second countdown? We're not doing that anymore?
No, it doesn't work. Gotta just go with it.
I told you that years ago, bro.
God, I hope this is the right intro.
Aluminum Spork.
Aluminum Spork. What is up, everybody? Welcome. It is the same day. It is the same time, but it is a different show. We are back. First show of 2024 on a Saturday, and it is Aluminum Spork time. New Spork station. No, I was going to try to do like new pat time, new bat station. Same bat station.
It's not working,
That
Scotty.
was what it was. Damn it. I screwed
Stick
that
to the
really
trip,
up.
Scott.
Yeah, I know.
But
Welcome, people of America and the world. No, I'm Scott with Sporking News Podcast. This is Aluminum Spork, where we talk ancient aliens, conspiracies, lost histories, interdimensional beings, and also Hollywood. Why not? Tonight with us, we have a great cast and some other people coming on the panel. First off, one of my favorite people in the world, we have the lovely Mark with a C.
Woo!
There it is.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? He is I and I am he. Good to be
Welcome.
here, man. Thank you.
Welcome, Mark. Thank you for being here. And we got just Stephen Walton.
Hell the chat. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for being here. Make sure to support your fellow content creators out there or other content creators. And if you have a voice you want to heard, make sure to make a channel and shout that shit to the stars. Do not back down. And yeah, just lay your nuts out. If somebody gives you an issue, just lay them out. You're good.
2 minutes, 22
Let
seconds
you
in,
know.
and there goes my ad revenue. What's up, everybody, though? No,
That's what I'm here for.
we're here we're literally, Aluminum Spork is kind of melding into something different. It is like going to be a, like a stream / podcast where we talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about, and then whatever comes up during the topics. And I think one of the biggest things right now is AARO, once again, coming out and just screwing the American people. If you don't know what AARO is, they're part of the Department of Defense, and it's All Dominion Anomaly Resolution Office. So what they were literally built to do was to make sure that the American people felt like they were being heard and they were not being lied to by their government. And it was a government agency. So, I mean, like, really, how did they
like
think
that ever happens? I mean,
and as we all know, the UFO history goes back to the early mid 40s in America, even earlier, with Western depictions and articles from old newspapers, but really
Like turn of the
Roswell-
century.
Yeah, no, even before Wild West, before the Civil War, they just didn't know how to describe it. A lot of times it was angelic. I mean, George Washington was known to speak to an angelic being that glowed before like Valley Forge. So like it goes.
He was
back.
growing some good stuff.
Oh yeah, well he did grow hemp. Hemp, he said.
And let's not forget the Renaissance era paintings with flying saucers in them.
Amen.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
it's been around.
Absolutely.
hieroglyphics,
Yeah,
cave
but
walls.
They were there,
Sure.
and also the Brotorius Mad Cheese. Mad Cheese.
Hello.
What's up, brother?
What's up?
What's happening? What's happening?
Wow, that was
Aliens.
Matt.
Come on, man.
We're going to be talking about anal
juice.
probes
Give us some
tonight.
juice.
Man, I'm still getting everything done here. I'm still setting up. I just got out the shower.
Oh, good. Whoa.
Yeah.
Nope, no
Yeah.
cam? No
No.
cam, man? What the hell?
Getting the full
I didn't have
machismo
time.
here.
Yeah.
I would have to set up my camera, put up the green screen behind me, all kinds of stuff.
Speaking of
Yeah.
letting
Never
your nuts
does
out.
it though. Never does it. Never has the camera ready. But
Or
when he walks
maybe
out,
I've been
What?
growing my beard and I didn't want to get shit until it got to the perfect length.
you told me that back in December, bro.
Yeah, it's still growing.
Damn.
Oh my God, what are we doing? ZZ. Oh, well, you are from Texas. Okay, I'll give you that. ZZ Top. So what to catch you up to speed, Machismo,
Sure.
we were talking about AARO and their report that volume 1 too. It's only volume 1 that just came out about their report on the U.S. government having alien craft and using it to use technological reversal engineering. Thank you. I'm
Right.
slow.
Yeah. Blue book. Gotcha.
And of course they said there's no proof. But if you read this report, there are so many they have one they're talking about one senator from New Mexico and he's really not from New Mexico. Dates they got wrong. Like it's almost like they rushed this out just as a propaganda piece. And I have stuff off of off of X that people gloriously put up there to make it easier for me. But this is the 63-page document that I downloaded. And
when was this released?
Today, I believe. If it wasn't today,
when they do it on Friday, right? Usually
I was about to say they probably released it like Friday afternoon. This is where I stopped reading. Section 2, executive summary. The first paragraph. AARO found no evidence that any USG investigation, academic sponsored research, or official review panel has confirmed that any sightings of UAP represented extraterrestrial technology. I can't speak. All investigative efforts at all levels of classification concluded the most sightings were ordinary objects and phenomenon and the result of misidentification. Although not the focus of this report, it is worthwhile to note that all official foreign UAP investigation efforts to date have reached the same general conclusion as USG investigation. Now, there's also a part here, and they pretty much say that it must be right around here, that with more time, they would be able, all unidentified UFOs and UAPs could just be explained away.
Cool. So take that time.
Well, even the ones that the Pentagon said we have no freaking clue what these are. AARO's like, no, enough time. We could just rush it on. It's something maybe you guys don't know about yet, and you'll know about in years, like during the 70s when they were doing those stealth bombers and stuff like that. But it pretty much is telling you all that. Don't worry, the majority of this stuff, we can answer it at some point and you're all wrong. It's ridiculous to me. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but right off the rip, that tells me they already decided that even if we still don't know the answer, they're going to wipe it away as it could be proven at some point.
The official story is trust us.
Yes.
We've been doing that for decades. What about all the stuff they were saying? I actually thought that as they were talking in the last couple years, we've gotten releases with 400 sightings of UFOs, and we don't know what this is, and we're investigating. I thought we're actually going to get some disclosure on this, but they've gone back to the bullshit worked in the past. We're going to do that again.
Yep. And the sad thing is, guys, it's like AARO was supposed to be made for the American people. It was made so that we all have an opportunity to find out the truth. And it's like their worst cover-up bullshit I've ever seen. Truthfully, it's one of those things where it's like, why didn't you just keep trying to hide it from us? Because
I can hear Bob Lazar getting raided right now.
Well, guys, let's be honest about this. Would the government ever hide things from us? Not on purpose, right? Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes files get lost, like behind your desk up against a wall, and it slips back there, and nobody found it for 30 years, and then you find out, oh, CIA killed KFK. Whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Paperwork
still
is
alive
hard.
in Argentina.
Paperwork is hard.
And you know what? The majority of the public, they want to believe whatever they're told. So
It makes it
unfortunately,
easier.
that puts the rest of us in the minority who really do want to know, like, what's really going on.
Right?
Yep.
And it's not like you're not already minoritied enough, Mark.
Wow.
This is another minority on you.
Because he's so tall.
I know.
He's so tall.
I know.
Oh no, I meant because he's black.
Oh, my bad.
Oh my God.
I forgot you're adjacent. I forgot, Mad, you're adjacent. So you can say things like that. He wants to be.
People like their BS up front and center. That's why we keep electing these politicians.
Doesn't even need to be convinced.
Yeah.
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 And another thing, like some people don't want to know the truth when it comes to anything that is too scary for them to handle, or they don't have the time. A lot of people love living in the mundane. But when it comes to blanketing people with misinformation, and we've seen this happen time and time again. I mean, it's nothing new to America, but when you blanket people with misinformation, the lie creates the narrative. And so they're just going to keep running with the narrative that's worked over the last century, no matter how much evidence there is or how many people have spoken out that have worked in the government, for the government, and has tried to give us information about what's really going on when it comes to extraterrestrial vehicles and societies.
I like you kind of brought that up because, well, this part also tells you all that you're just dumb if you believe in this shit. AARO recognizes that. Well, yeah, AARO recognizes that many people sincerely hold versions of these beliefs, which are based on their perception of past experiences, the experience of others whom they trust, or media and online outlets they believe to be sources of credible and verifiable information.
Minority Report.
Yeah, the Minority Report.
Madnority.
Yeah, Madnority. The proliferation of television programs, books, movies, and the vast amount of internet and social media content centered on UAP-related topics most likely has influenced the public conversation on this topic, and reinforced these beliefs within some section of the population. So what they're saying is, you pretty much, if they told you there were aliens, you believed it because they told you enough.
Well,
just like the government telling us there aren't, right?
One of my favorite, I don't want to get too serious, but one of my favorite philosophers, theologian is Peter Rollins from Ireland. I know I bring him up a lot, but
no. I just want someone to check first. Theologian, philosopher you spoke of on the show. Check one. Okay, go.
But what he talks about is how the hardest truth to hear is the truth you already know to be true. Right. It's the same as, your boy, his wife is cheating on him and you want to go tell him and he already knows it, but he's going to get mad at you because he doesn't want to hear it.
Right.
And it takes time for them to settle in with that truth to where they can actually accept it and acknowledge it.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Deniability. Yeah.
So what you should do, guys, is share out the link so we actually get more people in here. People aren't used to us being on Saturdays anymore, so it's kind of going to be a fun show. So, guys, if you have questions or things you want to talk about in the chat, let us know, and we will keep active on watching what you guys are saying. Like, oh, Tree Lover in the house, E. Clay Thomason.
What about Soul Assassin?
Soul Assassin said, no, Mark, don't let Mad make part of his Madority report.
Madority report. By the way, if I ever get big, like Critical Drinker or Gary, one at that level, all of my fans are going to be my Madnorities.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. I will totally pretend
Very
like I like
nice.
you
Very
even more.
nice.
Like 25% more of like, hey, Mad, you're my best friend. Remember we used to hang out? That doesn't happen on YouTube, right?
No, never.
No, never. People are your friends. Here we go.
Wall on the stream.
Fucking wall. That's why we only have 6 people watching. Here we go.
It's really
I got
good people.
Yeah, and they're damn good people. Thank you. I like that you said that. This is my alien bookmark I'm going to show you guys. Here we go. And I
thought it was going to be a bookmark. Like a physical book.
Oh my God, that would have been good.
I'm like, where did you get it at your kid's school fair? You nerd.
The one the school that's teaching my 9-year-old about trannies. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a whole nother thing. My 9-year-old was telling me about transitioning. And I was like, how do you know about this? She said, well, we had a puberty video. Well, in my state, they don't have to tell you if they're teaching your kids stuff. They passed a bill last year, I believe. So I'm going to be talking to the school board because, we're a community, and at least give me the opportunity to know what my kids are going to learn. So I could say, yeah, they might want to skip 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I just told her the truth and what I believe from knowing people that have transitioned, from research, from all that stuff. And I told her the truth. And I'll leave that at that.
Now, something like that came up with my kid, and I went to the school and talked to the vice principal and said, well, if you're going to teach that, could you please put Lord of the Rings in history class? Because I really enjoy that legend. And that mythos is great. And I think it would bring as much value to history as this is to health. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not even the point that they're being taught. 9.
Not
that
well.
goes to show
That's
you
an adult.
something.
That's
they don't even
that's an adult
understand
conversation, man.
what it is.
No,
is
this
it?
Maybe even high school. Maybe high school. Maybe you talk about it in like 11th or 12th. But no, I mean, the way that they are conditioning our children is a whole nother subject.
Yeah.
Woo.
But Lou Elizondo, former director of, it was called Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, or I thought it was pronounced differently. That looks like PAT-IP. I thought it was ATIP. Oh, maybe they left out Pentagon. I got it now. ATIP. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, ATIP. Okay, I just read that wrong because I'm like, Pentagon, where's the P?
A tip?
Tip?
Is it like just the tip?
Well, it's AATIP. ATIP. Yeah,
it's never just a tip.
Just see how it feels. So this is a gentleman who ran was the director of ATIP for 10 years.
He does not look trustworthy.
Oh, you know what he is. But the AARO report said it was an unofficial office, even though it was official for 10 years. So that was another thing I didn't understand. But he says it is inconceivable that the Pentagon continues to go down this road of someone give me a help on that one. Obfuscation and denial.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, Matt, you're the smart one. Come on, man.
Obfuscation and denial. Our adversaries.
Obfuscation?
Yeah, I tried. Our adversary. Oh my God, I can't speak. Adversaries have already stated, for the record, they have their own UAP programs. Is this not important to the Pentagon? This report is not only inaccurate, but also misleading in many of its assertions. Furthermore, this is yet another example of a long list of missteps by the Pentagon in recent history. It's a sad day for democracy when the American public is being fed misinformation under the guise of truthfulness and transparency. And that is a good one. Yeah.
That is doing that for over a century now.
I would believe him 10% more if he would shave that shit off of his chin.
Yeah, I know. He's going for like the
I don't trust them if they're whiter than me.
He looks like the lead singer of Sugarfly, only current day.
Yeah.
He looks like an albino with dyed hair.
Yeah, well, Fred Durst. He has that Fred Durst.
Oh yeah, Fred Durst, another good one. Yeah,
I bet he all for the cookie.
The nookie.
Anyway. Or the nookie.
Yeah, the cookie goes up your
Yeah. So stick it up your Now I got it. I like Think Tank wants you to know a list of the journalists invited by the Pentagon for the AARO meeting. Ask yourselves how they all have come up with the exact same headline today. So that's ABC News, Washington Post, CNN, and New York Times. And if you do go look at it from March 8th, they actually do have almost the same exact headlines. Then you go to this. All right. So there was the report. We had on the right are the articles from the 2021-22 UAP report.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's on the right, and on the left is what was today. So if you see Pentagon report finds no evidence of aliens visits hidden spacecraft. U.S. military developing portable UFO detection kits as Pentagon says no evidence of alien tech found. So now you go on the other side from the same government reports finds no evidence of UFOs where alien spacecraft. No alien life discovered on Earth, Pentagon says, but search deepens. Pentagon reviews finds no evidence of alien cover-up. It's the same ABC, Washington Post, the New York Times, USA Today, Washington Post, CNN, New York Times, ABC News. You ever see those videos where they like start with a news anchor saying something and then just start adding other anchors in, and it's the same exact thing? This is what it kind of is.
They all read from the same approved script.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
It's sad. What's up, Bosco? And we got Soul is here and Bad Takes. Good evening. Good evening, Bad Takes. You do have a link if you want to join us, even though you said your Friday show's your favorite thing of the week. I listened. Next is you come up to this right here. Now, Eric Weinstein has
that's an unfortunate name.
Yeah. And he's
no women are ever gonna trust you.
Yeah,
it's just something in the back of their head. They're like, Weinstein. I know that name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's got roofies in his pocket.
Well, that's not uncommon.
I don't want to be in film. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. Harry Reid, senator from New Mexico. I don't think Harry Reid's from New Mexico, guys. I'm pretty sure, is he Arizona? If you know, let us know, but it's definitely not New Mexico. So like they didn't even proofread this thing. They just threw it out there. And this is also where they say the DIA established AAWSAP in 2009, which was also known as ATIP. The contract for the DIA managed program was awarded to private sector organizations. And it goes on to say like ATIP was going to be something, but they didn't have a mission directive, and it wasn't funded, but it lasted 10 years. So I don't know.
Wait, it wasn't funded?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, then what contract? What did the contract say? Hey, here's the contract, but it has no money attached to it?
The name ATIP has been used interchangeably for the name of this program, include the AAWSAP and AATIP, including official documents. Unlike AAWSAP and AATIP was never an official DOD program. However, now that's what they're saying. It was never official. However, after AAWSAP was canceled, the ATIP moniker was used by some individual associations with an informal, unofficial UAP community of interested within DOD that it reads so bad, that research UAP sightings for military observation as part of their ancillary job duties. So what they're saying is it wasn't an actual department. It was just guys who did it within the DOD, and they called it ATIP. But yet it is on, you can find government documents showing the department ATIP, like official letterhead. Yeah. Oh, Harry Reid's Nevada. That's it. Harry Reid's Nevada. I completely.
Thank you, chat.
Yeah. Yeah. So that just, that whole idea that ATIP, and I mean, I remember Hillary Clinton talking about ATIP because that's where she learned UAP while she was running for the 2016 presidential race. So she even brought this up. So how's it unofficial? I don't get it. Like, if you're going to lie to us,
I think it comes down to money. Anything official will have money. Anything unofficial won't. And that could even mean that the difference would be who has money on the books and who has money off the books as well.
Right. So it could, I mean, yeah, that's the difference between.
You think they're really spending 20,000 on a toilet?
Well, if Hillary's involved, be careful because any one of us could disappear.
Oh,
talking
absolutely.
about it. You know what I mean? We love Hillary here.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
As far as
I totally would.
I promise.
As far,
Yeah.
as far as her, having her as a friend, she's like the opposite of a rabbit foot. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, her friends have had some of the worst luck over decades and decades.
Well, I mean, how many people have you known? Many, right? That committed suicide with 2 bullets to the back of the head.
Okay, well, that's common.
Commonplace.
But did they have the gun on 2-round burst?
Maybe to the back of the head, though. Yeah.
And our heart goes out.
TikTok.
Our heart goes
there
out
a
to Hillary because of
Yeah.
her loss.
Yes.
Condolences, Hillary.
It breaks my heart.
Oh, did y'all see the guy the paddle boater? By the way,
No.
dude,
No.
They got a paddle.
the
boater?
first
They
picture,
got
the
one?
first no. Obama. Yeah, I saw a picture of him, right? First one I've seen, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he's a little opposite of straight. What is it?
We talking about
You
the
think?
former
The paddle boat
president?
Yeah, the paddle boater that mysteriously drowned.
Oh yeah, his like
Oh.
roommate or something.
Yeah. Have y'all ever seen him?
Yeah.
I
He
haven't.
looked like he
No.
might have tap danced a little bit
Oh
too.
boy.
Really, sword swallower?
Very, very
What
happy
happened to
guy,
his-
huh?
Yeah, he had a
Yes,
friend named
yes.
Michael, I believe. Michael.
Michael. There's a lot of big Mikes walking around that circle.
Yeah.
Let's go
Maybe.
with that.
Maybe. Barry, that's it. Barry likes buck dudes. This is another thing I found very interesting. All right. So look at the terminology they use. And this is one of the very first things that they bring up. Extraterrestrial, off-world, extraterrestrial. All of that is off-world or extraterrestrial. Does that make you guys think of something, because it made me think of something right away. And I just want to know if I'm really smart.
I don't know. I thought about the grapes, the gracists. They're the greys. I have a whole theory about this too. You know, I think why this information is being suppressed, Scott. I think that the grays, they're the ones that are like, you know, they were putting a clamp down because they're threatening to invade their houses. I'm not saying I'm racist. I have a theory. The Greys are the only ones that we've been reported to put like anal probes in people. All right, the Greys show up in your house. This is what they do. They beam into your house wearing leather and chains, and then they stun you. And then they either abscond you someplace else.
Leather and chains?
Can we lower the bigotry here? It's not all Greys. We're talking about the tall Gray. There's other Greys.
The tall ones. Yeah. I'm right. Okay, because the little ones are deviants.
Don't make me bring my book back out. Don't make me bring that fucking report back out.
I'm sorry.
We might have to go over that report after.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it just in case.
Okay. All right. Well, see, what I see from this is they're specifically saying extraterrestrial. So they're not talking about interdimensional beings. What's the one they use for actual from this planet, but maybe internal? Ultra terrestrial. They're not talking about future human beings.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
You know, so like that too. All they're touching on is off-world technology and extraterrestrial. So it could mean that, because wording is big with these people. They love to play with the wording. So it could.
That's why they changed it to UAP.
Well, right, but it could be just. Oh yeah, they're not there. We have no proof of extraterrestrial. We do have interdimensional ships, but other than that, you know.
Yeah,
nothing.
I hear Bob Lazar getting locked up right now. Sorry, Bob.
Bob,
Our fault, bro. Hide the 115.
That poor bastard.
It's not what they're saying; it's what they're not.
It's how.
It's what they're not saying,
and how they're saying it too, Mark.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then they do lot of. Oh, go ahead, buddy.
No, I was going to say I'm going to periodically go off camera because I don't know how to smoke a cigarette on camera like Brahma Bull. Brahma Bull can do it like really tough. He looks like a man when he's smoking. I'm more Dark Gift. I'm more Dark Gift Comics. Hi. Yeah, so I'm going to go offline.
Do what I do, kind of.
I love you, Anthony.
Just lean to one side. Yeah. Yeah.
Did he call him Wanthony? Like he's whiny?
I don't know. It was weird.
That's what I
definitely
heard.
Was weird. Why is that not opening anymore? That is weird too. Won't let me open the Weinstein one. Oh, this is kind of cool. The third report.
You don't know what kind of issues are going to pop out of Weinstein. What are you doing?
So the third reference that AARO referenced was a website named military-history.fandom.com wiki project/sign. So they got Project Blue Book information from a fandom page. They literally referenced a fandom page in their official government report.
Wow. I mean, everybody needs advertisement.
I mean, how are you going to be right?
Say, man?
I was going to say, like, okay, but was it true what the fan said?
If it agreed with them. Project Blue Book, we don't know everything of Project Blue Book, so, you know.
You see Soul Assassin? Oh,
no.
Man.
What is he saying?
You could highlight every one of his and still be good to go.
I love Soul. Soul is the best. His chef was
at the very bottom.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Because it's talking about you're so. Oh my God, dude!
What?
It's all about you.
No.
What
this one is
tonight. Mad's gonna open up the Madspiracy files in this bish. I like the bish. Brian, welcome back, my friend. If you have any info, please send it my way, courtesy of X.
Rocking that mullet.
Brian's up to date on his conspiracy shit. I love it. Yeah, so this is one of those, and I'm trying to get it won't let me for some reason now open one of the files. But I do want to show they're saying there has been no reputable person with firsthand knowledge talking about this in the history of ufology. Well, this is NASA astronaut Gordon Cooper on film.
You muted it.
My opinion, I think they were worried that it would panic the public if they knew that someone had vehicles that had this kind of performance way back right after World War II period of time. So they started telling lies about it. And then I think they had to cover another lie, you know, tell another lie to cover their first lie, and now they don't know how to get out of it. Now it's going to be so embarrassing to admit that all these administrations have told a lot of untruths that it's going to be embarrassing to get out of it.
Wait, hold on. But
Yeah.
what that kind of sounds like is that he said we developed this technology, but we didn't want the public to know about
He
it, so
didn't
we
say
lied.
He didn't say we.
Okay, go again.
Listen to it again.
This is the beginning.
In my opinion, I think they were worried that it would panic the public if they knew that someone had vehicles
Someone
that had this
had.
kind of performance way back right after World War II period of time. So they started telling lies about it.
Right,
So
but
if you
that
listen to the whole thing, and this is only a clip, I have listened to more of this. He is discussing unidentified flying objects, and he said the fear of someone having technology like this. So he may not have come directly out and said it was aliens, but he said it was something we could not say was ours, or we had no clue of one of our adversaries even coming close to this stuff, this capability. So they just kept lying and lying and lying. You also have astronaut, the sixth man on the moon, Mitchell. I think
man, don't quote somebody off the bench.
Oh, I'll get it. I'm just that good, but I'll get it. He
there's also-
directly. What?
Oh, I'm sorry, brother.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Bob.
But there's also, I mean, as well as wanting to hide technology or advanced technology if they had it, you know, and you're right, not wanting other countries to know. I mean, that too could be an excuse as to why they kept lying over and over again. But I mean, at this point, if they expose that they, okay, yeah, we've been bullshitting for, 100 years. In today's society, we'd be like, yeah, we understand. We know, we would forgive them. We'd be like, yeah, we know, we do it too. Like we would have expected
Who are
it,
you
but at least
talking
tell
to?
us the truth.
People would riot. What are you talking about? No,
Nobody
everybody
would
would be like,
riot. They
hey,
wouldn't care. There'd be people selling
Gov.
T-shirts at this
hey,
point.
Gov, it's cool. Hey, Gov. No hate.
In
no hate. Yeah, we're
today's,
good.
if they released it the way that they had been, they've been talking the last couple of months. We're going to check this out. We're going to look at that. Oh yeah, this is a discovery, and then slowly leak the information out through 20 years. Then no, nobody's going to riot. Nobody's going to care. It's going to be past information, like the Gulf of Tonkin is at this point, right?
I love on the right hand side of your screen. You got Shaggy there.
Yeah.
Melons.
Yeah.
Why I started calling out Andy Sign. That's all you do.
That's not all she does.
No, I know. I'm just saying. This is her and Andy. That's been a thing for a very long time now.
All right, hold on one second. I got
Yeah.
something.
She
Go on,
cracks
Mark.
me up. I like her.
The drama mama? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
she's
one of the
awesome.
only streams I steadily watch.
All of a sudden, everybody's drama mamas, though.
Yeah, ain't
Yeah.
that the truth?
I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah. I
No, I
don't
haven't, Mark.
know.
Names. Let's hear names
I
because
don't-
I'm
I
not
don't
sure if I'm following.
All right, we're not getting into that shit, but you
No,
know,
we're not getting into that stuff.
I knew
Yeah.
it could.
Dragon Storm's
He's
almost at
not directly.
9,000. So if you want to hear about how to gaslight women, please check out my channel. I'm 60 away from 9,000. Thank you very much.
So what were you going to say, Mark?
I don't think the public
Wow.
is as ready to handle the truth as you might think.
Absolutely not.
You know, I think
No.
everybody just loves Sunday Night Football. Just leave us the
Yep.
fuck alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't want
Yeah.
to shake things up, man. You know,
That's
then
true.
you take into consideration the religious zealots that are out there, what this
Yep.
whole thing would mean to them. You know,
But they're going to bug out anyway.
Okay,
You
so
know
we
what I mean,
should
Mark?
encourage.
But listen, if you're sitting around talking with your boys, Mark, like if you ever had a conversation with your friends, you're at a barbecue, whatever, and you start talking about aliens or something, what do most people say? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think that it's pretty much known. Like the competent, I think that it would be more accepting in today's society than it ever has been. And if we just leak that information out slowly over the next 10 years, 20 years, of like, yeah, okay, we hid this because of this. Give us a competent reason. Just
Well,
don't stop,
and
bullshitting us over and over.
It doesn't even have to be about what, like, UFOs and stuff. Just the knowledge of how many Goldilocks zone planets there are in the galaxy, and the idea that life could be on those planets, and the idea that we've learned that Mars had an atmosphere for at least 1 billion years and could have had life. And
I know,
and
but
intelligence.
we're also coming from a Western perspective. You go to some place like India, they're like, this has been going on for thousands of years. You know, like other parts of the
Vimanas.
world.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
The Sanskrit. I mean, all that shit.
We've been really conditioned by this by our Western culture, and especially in the last 10 years, 15 years, as the news media, the internet, everything's been on lock, all the information of control. We saw this, we were going through TFM days, guys. You know what I mean? We know what happens when you have enough lies out there pointed at a group of people or pointed at a subject, and then they just keep regurgitating it. You know, so yeah, you're going to have zealots. They'll absolutely going to have zealots that freak out. You're going to have zealots that freak out. But I think that most people won't care. Most people are like, yeah. You know, honestly.
This is quick. All right, listen, I normally wouldn't do this, but I have to.
What?
The girlfriend texted me and said, dude, what the fuck is Walton wearing? Like, it literally made me spit out my drink and start laughing.
I thought he was.
Well, what are you wearing?
I literally thought he was wearing a dashiki. I thought it was a dashiki at first.
I like this. I ordered it offline. It's got a black dragon.
And then a dragon.
Did you get dressed in Hot Topic before you came here?
Listen, bro, don't make me put on my Indiana Jones hat. All right, don't make me do that. I will.
Hi, welcome to
this is
Hot
the perfect
Topic. If you need help, whatever.
I mean, you're combining different outfits that are on their own nerdy enough, but when you combine it,
Dude.
it's like, oh, he's a colorblind nerd.
D?
What up, D?
Man,
D, I'll send you the link.
you love me, man.
That's
See, but the
great.
thing is, right, is that everyone would assume that the aliens or whatever would be something that's agreeable to them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But if they're on the wrong side, I mean, we're seeing this we can't even get along with each other because, of differences.
Right.
So I don't think people would be too cool with whatever comes down
Nope.
if it's not agreeable to what they are or what they believe or whatever. Like, say they came from planet Homo or something like that, and their universal greeting was up the poop chute. If you want to make peace with us, you're gonna have to take it up.
All right. Well,
The grains, dog. The grains. I'm telling you that.
I was against them telling us the truth, but now I'm kind of listening. What's up, Mark? What's up with this planet?
I'm just saying, all of a sudden, it's hostile. We're going to war. You know what I mean?
Nanu.
I don't know if it's because I'm older now, but I'm at the point where I'd rather them just lie to me and let me just keep my serene, peaceful life rather than knowing the truth. Does that make sense?
Full disclosure. Yeah.
Or
You're not ready for it.
Well,
Do you think that we unify, like Reagan said in the 80s? Do you think that like the whole world would
not
unify?
anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
No, I mean
Back
like
in the
no,
80s, we might have-
extraterrestrial.
No, not
okay.
anymore. No, there's too much hatred of everything between people. People can't agree on like the color of that dress. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to kill each other. So no. Maybe in the 80s before social media and shit. I don't know. What do you think, Mark?
We've come from the planet Beelzebub or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like we are here to take 1/16 of your population, or we'll destroy the whole planet. Take the blacks. You know what I'm saying? I can see it. Whatever.
It's crazy
like,
how we.
That's the way we're playing.
It's crazy how we both ended up on the same people to take at the same time, almost in unison.
We're not coming together for anything, man.
Oh man, that was bad.
Man.
I would say they're. Yeah,
But what if they are black and they're in high demand for slave labor and they take all the whites? Like, would you guys be all right with that?
Oh my God, I don't know about. Well, personally, I mean, I got to.
What
live,
are they
man.
doing?
You know what I mean?
Filing? Like,
Yeah, that
No,
would wreck the economy.
Paperwork?
To take that many
Slaves?
people.
You know?
I'm team. We stand together, man. It's like we're
Amen,
going
brother.
down together. Get the hell off our planet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I'm
we-
with it.
Unless they're
when that
targeting
rank-
Europe. Unless they're targeting Europe, they can have all of that shit. Who gives a fuck about Europe? But over here, though, in this hemisphere, we stand together.
If that
Brian
one,
says, bye, Mark. Nice
that-
knowing you.
if that one little gray from just a tip shows up in leather and chains, you're done. I think we should all unify against
You
that.
and the grays.
No more grapings.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean,
Are
they're
you a
probing.
gray? Because you're talking about
different.
this a lot.
Or did it happen? and
I'm
you
a little
just don't want to
triggered by
admit it.
this. All right.
Yeah.
little
Triggered
triggered.
isn't the word.
I do a show with Immortal Coil late on Saturdays, and he's an intergalactic gigolo, and he says don't sleep with the grays. So that's I've been a little triggered by this. I've been talking about it for a few weeks.
Oh, like you could trust the lizard people either. Look at their
Wow.
tongues. You want their
Yeah.
I don't-
anyways.
We're going David Icke in here now, huh?
Yeah. David Icke, truthfully.
Yeah.
All right. This is Eggard Mitchell.
That
Hold on. Here we go.
coming back from
Yeah.
the moon,
You
that
started.
it caused me to start focusing myself on
what is the nature of consciousness? That's because I had a very powerful experience while I was in space. But what I want to talk about today is the fact that 500 years ago, thanks to...
Okay, wrong one. My bad. Yeah,
What's
we'll
he
come back
talking
when I
about?
find the right one.
I think he was talking about becoming gay. I don't know.
Yeah, no. You
Wait,
leave
who
Ed-
was he about
Edgar
to talk
Mitchell.
about? Was that Michelle de Montaigne?
Oh, Jesus, I think. Rene Descartes,
no.
dude. Come on.
Oh, was it? I knew it was
Yeah.
somebody.
Come on.
Did
They're
he
both
cook
from
for
that
the
same era.
Obamas?
Hey, dude, even Buzz Aldrin confirms UFO sighting, though he goes back and forth, Buzz. So, you know, there was definitely things happening on our Apollo missions that they don't even touch on in AARO. There's events they don't talk about in AARO, but they were supposed to cover everything and they didn't. AARO was supposed to be for the people, and it's not. It's
Well,
not.
they've never been
It
good at
never
these
is,
cover-ups. Because
Yeah.
look at the
Yeah.
Black Knight satellite. They're like, oh, that's a blanket.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
That's just a
Right,
base-
right.
They did. They said it was one of those.
How did the
reflective
blanket get
blankets.
outside of the ship?
Yeah, like, and it was what ship was that? It wasn't.
I don't know.
I don't even know
It's-
how
it's-
deep
it's-
we were into it.
That's an
How
old
deep
blanket,
was it?
too.
That's an old.
I figured it would
fucking
fall apart being in space.
Yep. Scott want the book How to Serve Man. Oh, I don't know. What's that? Is that one of those like your screwed books?
Classic Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To serve man. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what it
Yeah.
was.
That
Yeah.
is. To serve man.
Thank you,
It's
Mark.
a cookbook. Yeah. I
The
remember
real
that.
nerd
Okay,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, my mom was a huge Twilight Zone fan. We watched all of those. You know, like every
Yep.
what is it? July 4th, they always showed a marathon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And we
yeah.
always watch them. You know, got to see the
That's
William
awesome.
Shatner one on the plane. Absolutely.
Right. With the
Oh,
gremlins. Oh, God.
It's like Bigfoot or something out there.
Did anybody ever watch the Naman Namahaji reboot of Twilight Zone? Was it Twilight Zone that
I
was rebooted?
don't think I did. Was it any good?
I thought it was the guy Peel and Keel or one of those guys. I thought
Oh,
it was-
you're right.
Yeah,
You're right. I'm sorry.
did
Yeah,
it, yeah.
Yeah, but Kanam Namanaji was in the first episode. He was a comedian. And I forgot what the twist was on it or whatever, but it was not good.
Great story.
No.
What we were talking about, it was relevant. to what
Rod
we were talking
Serling was
about.
he was a visionary. No one's ever going to do what he did.
No,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
it was dope. It definitely was dope. The Big Raj. Yeah.
What's up, dude? I haven't been able to hug Raj in a long time.
I know, and his
Weird.
Doctor Who was the best. Raj, top 2 favorite Canadians. Him and Script Doctor. Love those guys. Big Raj is a good dude. Met him in Florida, California, Canadian 199. And it is a thumbs up as usual. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. Ruben says he
brother.
was trying to be funny.
Who?
We'll
Pronouns
just
are
go-
Any
great,
one of us.
except for when
we'll just go
there's
with
the
Walden.
delays. I have no idea
We'll just go with Walden.
who was trying to be funny.
Probably
My
me.
gal. Pronoun. We can't talk pronouns on this show.
Pronoun,
so
pal.
what are the grays again on this? This is Blue Planet
right.
Project. This is real
Yep, this
shit
is
we
real.
found. We
Alright,
went
so-
through this once before.
I don't
Okay,
know when
this-
it turned into a we, but okay.
You went through it on my show. That's what I'm saying.
That's
I
not the
found
same
it.
as we found it.
I mean, we did together.
Let's see. What do you want to look for? You want the gray? Okay,
The grays.
68.
Okay, so this is
Well, are we not? Why are we going to the grades?
because we're going to describe the different types of grays.
All right. All right.
This is an official report we found.
Record.
All right. So let's see here. Which part do you want to read? Because there's a whole bunch of information here.
Something that's funny. I
Oh,
don't
here we
know.
go.
How do you
show
not
you.
know
There
it
we go.
verbatim, Mad? That's your thing. But
We
All
did
right,
read
so-
this. Dude, we went over this whole thing on a stream once. I should find that and link it up here. You know?
All right. So this is the small gray, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's the Regulalian type
Regolin
Yep.
type A. Yep.
Alien.
Yeah,
Yep.
regalian.
Right.
That was what I said. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A. I feel like we're just saying it with
stun
accents.
guns and roofies.
Are you reading anything about them? I mean, it said it right there what
Okay.
they were.
Yep.
No,
here
no,
you go.
no. Below the picture. Below
There
the
you go.
picture. It tells you the difference and stuff.
Go ahead.
Oh, I can't read it. It's so small, dude. You read. Oh, gee. Wow, you really
Ah.
don't want to read. You make fun of me. No
Holy
apparent
crap.
reproductive organs. Perhaps I can't read it, dude. It's too small.
Atrophied.
Okay. by
Atrophied.
atrophied by evolutionary
Uh,
degradation. No genitalia.
Generation. No genitalia.
Yeah.
I love the,
absence
the
of
clear
sexual
line
organs.
between. I love the
Can't
clear
keep them
line.
in the
Mark,
nuts.
read this.
I love the clear line between the people who can read and can't.
Yeah, it's I'm one of the cants.
Yeah.
The absence of sexual organs suggests a system of cloning reproduction may be prevalent. The aliens appear to be formed out of some sort of mold or
What?
sharing identical facial characteristics.
Oh, I was thinking mold on food, not mold like
Dude, are you serious? Like a jello
Nope.
mold? Like a jello.
No, that's not what it means. It
Like
means
a-
like a
a
mold, like
mold.
if you're making a
Yeah, you can mold. Hey, I'm Santa. Jello.
or hey, here's a vase I made at class.
no, that's like what?
No,
that's
that's
like
not- no.
Ghost.
What?
You know, you get behind Patrick Swayze, gets behind you. and
Go
helps you-
on.
No?
Forget it.
And hugs and
No.
hold you.
Yeah. A mold is you pour something in, let it
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're talking
Like a
about.
Oh my
vase.
good lord.
Because aliens are totally into molding. Oh, this is might be good. No digestive system or GI tract, no intestinal or alimentary canal or rectal area described. Yeah. Type B are the grays from Z reticula. These grays are also all right.
Uh-huh.
We're done. We're
Yeah.
done. Okay. I
Yeah,
thought it was gonna be funny.
Reptilia 1. You see how it sounds like
Yeah.
ass? No, honestly, like Immortal Coil is really into this stuff, and his understanding, as he explained it to me, was that those little graves are actually AI. They're workers.
Yeah, I've
They're
actually heard
machines.
that
They're-
before. They're
yeah.
they're the workers for the tall grays.
For the tall ones who have they're basically dying. They're a dying race. They can't reproduce themselves. They've been cloning for so long, and
Yep.
so
They're
And some
basically
say they're us from the future.
or they're the pandas of aliens because they can't reproduce.
or the. Or
Can you
the
imagine being a
potatoes, yeah.
panda? It's like
So the
Man, that's
us
so
for
dumb.
the us from the future don't have genitals.
well, what are we
What do you
doing
think
right
of the
now to our
non-binary
kids?
shit's going, Mark?
They
What do you
really
think?
are going to take our balls. Yeah. You
Yes.
see?
I mean, if you really look at
Fight
if you
their
look
balls.
at this seriously, if you look at what's going on right now, who's to say in 200, 300, 400 years that's not what we start to evolve into because we destroyed reproductive systems. I mean, right now there are more adult Americans than the amount that are
Yeah, thank
needed
God.
to be born. So
Yeah, I don't.
we are
I don't
going
know.
to be replaced by a less
Well,
amount
let me
of
tell you
ourselves.
something.
No.
It's going to take
Yeah.
quite a few generations to get rid of this here, buddy. We got nothing to worry about.
Humans
That's why
have
we-
been banging all the way through evolution. All right, I'm a mutant because my ancestors somewhere back decided a Neanderthal chick looked good to bone. All right, we
Yeah.
are mutants. If anything, we're going to evolve more genitalia. Okay,
Add
that's
mine.
what's going to
There you
happen.
go.
Add that.
There
Yeah,
you
it's
go.
not disappearing.
You just have it. You just have it playing. It doesn't need sound. I was just gonna have it playing next to us.
What's up, Bad Takes?
Hey, I was not going to miss the second opportunity to read that thing. So,
Yeah. Oh,
so
you
I
were
ate
here for
dinner as
that.
Hello.
fast as I could and jumped
You
on
were-
the stream.
We already got rid of it. I'm sorry. We
Oh,
should
that's okay,
discuss
that's okay.
because it was very it was terrible. Oh my god, that was a fun stream, but
Yeah.
that was you had to be there type thing, I guess, because it
Add
didn't
my
come off as
video
funny.
before it's not relevant.
Yeah. What?
You-
Oh,
you should-
oh,
Look how dumb these things are. Look, he's just like, I'm just gonna give up on life. Just gonna hang here. That's the grays.
Yeah. Thank you, Meg.
I also
is.
wanted to tell you guys about when we were speaking earlier with the aliens coming and wanting all the black people. That's actually an Outer Limits episode. And that's what I sent you in the Twitter chat. It's
Really?
summary.
Yes, that is an episode.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Yes, he's
really?
right. That's what I thought you were referencing, Mark. Was that
No.
episode?
all right, hold on.
Holy shit. No.
Hold on.
No.
I'm gonna share this because that's
But listen, it was only the certain melanin count. So like you're done. But like your light skinned cousin, he's good. Like they were allowed to stay.
now
Okay.
hold
That's what it
when
was.
when
You're
was
high,
this
Ella, you're safe.
when
Whoa.
was this episode actually like Outer Limits? How
Like-
old
like-
is that?
Took the black
Yeah.
people.
It was the last 15 years ago, Tina?
I
Was it
think
about
so. I
15,
mean, there
20
was
years
an
before it came out?
the original Outer Limits was on as competition against Twilight Zone, but
Okay.
but yeah, no, it's hysterical. And it was a question that was asked, a couple years ago, but I thought it was still funny.
I
Does any-
seriously thought
aliens-
Mark was referencing this episode when he
I
made that joke.
wasn't. I swear to
I've
God, I
never even
wasn't.
heard of that.
Wow.
The world
Nope.
voted to send black people away with the aliens.
Oh my God.
That would be
So,
the one election we
Oh,
could trust.
shit. Yo,
Oh, shit.
when did this air? When did this air? Because
I'm
there's no
trying
way
to
it would
find
air
that.
today.
Yeah, at the
No,
end of
there's
the
no
episode,
way.
we learned black people were headed to utopia while the rest of the world would suffer without them.
Those sons of bitches.
Mhm.
They tricked you.
We're so
Yeah.
screwed.
Yeah, there was
But it was-
so many people that, so
That
like,
that
oh,
story.
don't, all the black people are gone. What are we
You know-
going to do now? And they're like, oh, let in the immigrants. I'm sorry.
The
that was
the
messed
only
up.
reason why they wouldn't let that be made today is because of the buildup. They do not have the patience to subvert. You know what I mean? Those expectations when you're
Right.
starting, they would have just immediately said, no, it's too racist, even though the outcome is the opposite.
Is utopia.
Yeah, it's just the buildup.
That is
Yeah.
messed up, though.
You never get past the headline.
Yeah. I would like
Yeah.
to know the guy thought he was having like a Mandela effect thing happening. He's like, I love the Mandela effect. That is one
Yeah.
of my favorite things to cover. Oh, man.
Thanks to the Higgs-Biden collider.
I don't even know what high yellow means. What is that? I've never heard that term before.
Oh, isn't that
Very
America?
light skin.
It's Chinese?
Light skin.
Light skin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very light skin.
Like
Oh, that's
red
That's
bone.
like a
racist.
90s term.
Think
I
Kid
don't
from
remember
Kid
in
and
the
Play.
90s, bro.
Yeah. I thought it was red bone.
No, Kid and Play. So you're talking. Okay.
That would be high yellow.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you now.
What up, Mike?
Mike, how you doing, my brother? Can I say that on TV, guys?
I mean, it's too late. Everyone is, except for me, everyone has already said it multiple times.
I know. I just wanted to be part of the group.
I went
So
with red bone.
I found this really cool map. So you guys have seen the Perry Reese map. Have any of you guys seen their Hermanus anyways, okay. Perry Reese map. All right. The Perry Reese map is a map that a lot of people
Antarctica?
reference. Yeah, Antarctica. So
Are we talking flat Earth? I go down this rabbit hole all the time. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. But this is not flat Earth.
Damn
No, yeah, but you keep playing with this, you'll know. So the Perry Reese map, a lot of people believe shows Antarctica.
Right, without all
back
the
in-
ice.
Well, yeah, pretty much without the ice. And some people are like, no, that's like the coastline of South America. And they try to prove which one is which. Then you have the, where is it?
Scott, can you make it bigger?
No, because I don't really care about that one right now.
Oh, well,
Jesus,
I mean, you
why'd
brought
you
it
say
up.
it all like that?
Right?
Said it all.
Yeah,
Scott,
I'm sorry.
Could you make it
You
bigger?
make it bigger, Scott.
Deeper,
This
Scott.
is a this is a different one. This is the Hermes.
I can feel you growing.
Okay, this one's really big, really big. This is called the Hermanus Verdered. I'm saying that completely.
So yeah, what's
right.
up with all this Latin bullshit on it?
Yeah.
Speak
It's
American.
Latin. So this is
Wow.
showing the northern and the southern hemisphere. If you look to the right, that is the southern hemisphere, and it shows like the tip of South America.
Just the tip.
Just the tip, but it shows the
There you go.
landmass of. Look on that yellowish color is the landmass of Antarctica with mountain chains and rivers that like actually are there. Now, how would they know this when we didn't know this until the past 40 years with using sonar? This was, I believe, 1531 or somewhere around that. So they made a map that was one of the last ones that actually showed Antarctica. After that, we wouldn't show anything. 1821 was one of the most thorough maps made prior to the discovery of Antarctica, and it just showed blank below like South America and Australia. This literally shows mountain chains that we just found out about in the past 40 years with rivers, and it's detailed. The problem is people say, oh, it's off 32 degrees, so it's not correct. It shows islands that are under ice that would never have been known the island was there. And they all reference that they found this from much older, ancient maps. So most people only know of the Perry Reese and this one. Well, there's a new one that was recently unearthed, and it is called the Kunyu Quantu. It is a Chinese map.
Oh, no, never mind. Disregard.
Disregard Chinese maps?
It came from TikTok.
Yeah, if it didn't come from the West, I don't want to hear about it.
Well, this is from 1602, and it was done by a European that was invited to the emperor in China. Invited him. So
I heard if you look at the Chinese map that you get a virus,
Oh my
and
God.
it can steal all your information.
No, yeah.
That ain't right.
It is not right. One thing I've noticed is this. All right, top, you see the hole. There's a hole in the north, maybe to inner Earth. But at the bottom, you see Australia on the left-hand side map. You see Australia right there in Africa.
Why did they make it so blurry?
Um,
Couldn't they have turned up the sharpness?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's the largest map, ancient map they've ever discovered.
This is the problem. This is the problem with making maps before HDR and 4K. Because you can't see any of the detail.
Yeah, right. So you look down below though, all right, and
where the rhinos are, yeah,
there's rhinos, there's giraffes, there's lions, alligators, and it shows the coastline of Antarctica.
And
then
Is that a gray and a cow?
Turkeys.
There's turkeys. There's turkeys. Yep. Sheep, beaver. Yep. And Antarctica over here. So even in a Chinese map, they're showing Antarctica prior to our discovery of it.
I am not for or against the idea of this, but for me, it's giving me a reason as to why this Antarctica existed in this way in the past, and currently it is a sheet of ice. Like what is the reason why in such a short time?
Okay,
Global
so
it would have been a
warming.
short time. Would have been over the last
they
climate
say it's
change.
been like
centuries.
well, it's not really climate change, it's continental shift. So tectonic plates can move very abruptly, causing continents to shift farther south or farther north, changing
or
the
rise
climate.
or rise or lower like Machu Picchu,
Right.
you know,
Also-
or Lemuria if it existed.
Right. Also, the magnetic and magnetic north and south shifted 23 degrees. So at one point, this was a warmer area of the planet, and when that shift happened, it tilted the Earth a bit more, causing the Sahara Desert to become a desert and not lush rainforest, and it turned this to ice. Now they say it's been frozen for X amount of million years, but even with core samples, I don't know if it actually goes back farther than a couple
hundred, it would have to, right?
Couple tens of thousands of years to core samples. I might be wrong on that, but there's proof. Like, how do you get a map from 1531 that shows where rivers and mountain chains are in Australia or Antarctica, and then in 1821 the most precise map of its time didn't even show it because we didn't know it was there. These people are and that Perry Reese says, I was referencing ancient maps that were given to me. I took different ones and put them together.
I don't know, for the same reason it isn't a popular topic that you can find clay pottery or discs in Mexico City of ancients riding dinosaurs, but we don't talk about that. You know,
right.
they're all
Those
over the
all
place.
fake, they say.
Yeah, they're all fake, right?
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, do you know where the
you're
largest...
gonna think Mexicans are gonna have fucking dinosaurs they ride and not Americans? You're out of your mind.
I'm saying, like,
it is warmer down there.
Okay,
no.
true.
Do you know where the biggest...
There are... I'm sorry,
go ahead, man. No, please.
But there are some obvious documentations of things that have happened in our history that are not a part of mainstream canon. And that's what I consider it, because historians and archaeologists at this point are so ingrained in their work being supported by previous work that may have been wrong or was wrong, and they don't want to have to correct that, or they don't want to have their work invalidated. But there's so much evidence of it out there that it's like I said, I don't dismiss the idea that Antarctica was at some point not covered in ice, and that there was a thriving ecosystem down there. It just comes down to, I need evidence or an explanation as to,
but this is what I'm trying to say, Walton. If you have a map from 1602 or the 1500s that shows the mountain ranges we didn't even know about till we were able to use sonar to bounce off 2 miles worth of ice. And they reported that they got these from ancient maps. Now, I'm talking probably maps that were the last few after the burning of the Library of Alexandria, things of that nature. Like, the belief I have is that they say Atlantis wasn't just this one city. There was a capital, but it was 10 kingdoms. And it just, that all that meant was it was a planetary civilization that people were able to cross oceans with technology of boats. How hard is that to believe that prior to the Younger Dryas, this was able to happen?
And according to some, that's using underground transportation systems. So.
Yeah, I won't even go underground. Well, all I'm saying is boats. You have pyramids in South America that match ones in Cambodia almost to the T. They're all on the same ley lines. Do you know where the biggest footprint of a pyramid is? The one that has the biggest base?
Yes.
South America.
Egypt?
Mexico City.
It's not Egypt.
Oh.
Outside of Mexico City.
Okay.
There's a church on top of it. And it was buried by the Aztecs. I'll bring that up right now. It's something that we don't even hear about, and they're the country that's below us, and we don't even know that they have the largest footprint. It's bigger than the Pyramid of Giza, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Why is that? They don't want us to know about these ancient structures, because if you start to look at and I think they call it polygonal architecture, like, you can't even fit a piece of paper in between the stones, and they're fit with weird cuts and curves and like just
done with technology we do not possess today, and as far as moving the weight of those stones or the accuracy in which they were placed. And that's because I think that there's technologies existed previous to our explosion-based technology that we have now, force-based, that they don't want us to reclaim, in the same way that, like, where did all Tesla's experiments go? Where did what happened to all of that? When it comes to any type of technology that would bring us together, teach us how to manifest or resonate into frequencies that create unity between us, happy lives, better people, then you're going to see that information, kept to a small few, or not given to the general public, in the same way they ain't talking about aliens, kind of. It's about truth of knowledge. Those civilizations absolutely existed, and they were spread across the earth. And the rebirth of civilization happened when the last 10,000 years. It wasn't the birth of civilization. It was a rebirth after the great floods, floods. And so, yes, absolutely. Hail Toph and the Emerald Tablets for trying to impart the ancient wisdom to the humanity who was trying to refine it, to reassert itself, to find itself again, or to recover. But I think that there have been so many people who have had this knowledge, especially now in our technological age, where it's easy to hide or it's easy to put out misinformation, that do not want the general public to have, because it would open our eyes up to the fact that we have existed for a hell of a lot longer than we have been told, and that at one point, like a unified human civilization, right? We're talking about races, not just races of someone evolved in Africa, someone evolved in China, not just those subtle differences, but actual differences, I think, in human races themselves. Neanderthal, Devenesian, and any other type of the giants.
We outlasted them, but we did live with them.
We lived with them. We worked with them at one point. We were in the same damn ecosystem with these things.
I wouldn't say we worked with them. I would say the Neanderthal and humans were enemies.
All right.
But I understand what you're saying. They lived in the same time period. Now, I misspoke. It wasn't Mexico City. It's Cholula, Mexico. And this picture you're seeing with that beautiful church on top, that is a pyramid. And it is the largest pyramid with its footprint in the world. The church was built on top by missionaries from Cortez, and the Aztecs covered it with as much dirt as possible. And even though they knew it was there, they just built their church on top and allowed it to be taken back by some of nature. But yeah, it's a
place of power.
Pyramid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a place of
you're
power,
gonna put your
and it's
church
just,
right on top of it because screw your
Absolutely.
religion and your belief. We're gonna put a church.
but it's not just that. It's also the understanding that that is a place of power, and that's why a religious institution would do that.
Yes.
It's not unlike other religions who have done the same thing over thousands of years.
Right.
That's a confirmation that that is a place of power.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike is right. 5% of the people really want to learn this knowledge.
Yes.
That is
It's
the
innate
5%
within us.
philosophy.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. But I always wondered, like, remember the movie Wall-E?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where humanity went off world because they fucked up the earth and everything. I mean, it's almost like a simple version of that concept. I combined that with Noah's Ark. Like, what if Noah's Ark was a spaceship? You know what I mean? And they had all this technology. They left the planet got flooded, whatever, but there were still people here, but they had to build themselves back up, you know? So that would be the state that we're in now. But those people who left had that knowledge, that information. What if they were to come back, unbeknownst to, the common person or whatever, with all of that technology and stuff?
Yeah.
So they could integrate that or sell it or whatever the case may be, and there you have the ruling class.
I mean, yeah. That's
Well
true.
said, Mark.
Yeah.
And hopefully they wouldn't come back in floating chairs eating people shakes, like they were in Wall-E.
Right.
That's pretty grim.
Cholula, Mexico is home to the largest ancient pyramid in the world by volume. When the Spanish arrived in October 1519, Cortez and his men marched upon Cholula to a lukewarm reception from the natives. The conquistadors claimed to have gathered intel of an impending attack and within a few days attacked the nobles, citizens, and warriors in their own streets. Their Tlaxcalan allies soon came in and continued to massacre thousands alongside the Spanish. Decades later, in 1574, the colonizing forces would build a Catholic church on top of this massive pyramid at Cholula. The conquistadors would often build their churches on top of these ruins of sacred places. In Mexico City, an old Catholic church still stands right next to the Aztec ruins. Much of the material from the old temples of the Aztec was used to build the church that still stands today. The Cathedral of Merida in the Yucatan was built on top of the ruins of a Mayan settlement. I travel all around documenting interest.
I mean, it is sad when we lose structures due to religious invasion, or religious conversion. But at the same time, sometimes information is saved because of it. Like we know this existed and why the importance of it because of what happened. But the recognition of it being a sacred place that happens everywhere. And I just want to say, I love monotheistic Europeans from the Dark Ages and the Middle Ages. Beautiful people.
Oh yeah, they were right. Everybody else was wrong.
Love them.
Yeah.
Here,
This church may appear like it's built atop a lonely hill, but the truth is far more interesting. Beneath the rolling mound of green grass surrounding the base of the church lies the largest pyramid and monument in the world.
Look at that thing. It's
by
huge.
volume. This is Tlachihualtepetl, also known as the Great Pyramid of Cholula. At 1,480 feet wide, it features the largest base of any pyramid in the world, almost double that of the Great Pyramid of Giza. It stands 217 feet tall and was constructed out of adobe brick. This pyramid, built over hundreds of years by the Toltecs, is over 2,400 years old, and by the time of the arrival of the conquistadors, was already overgrown.
Over 2,400 years old. Like Cholula is over 2,000 years old, the town. They believe it's even much longer, but they will only let them celebrate like 2,004 years or something. But it's just really kind of crazy.
At its peak, it sustained a population of 100,000 people.
100,000 people.
Because of the cultural and religious significance of the church constructed at its top, comparatively little excavation of the pyramid has been done. However, over 5 miles of tunnels beneath the pyramid have lent insight into its construction. Excavations are ongoing. If you like my
5 miles of tunnels underneath. Like, and they tell us there's nothing under the Sphinx. There's nothing under, nothing under the Sphinx.
It's
Nothing under
amazing what a heathen in a loincloth can do, Scott.
yeah. Yeah. And a lot of these are built under aqueducts or underground rivers, or have large amounts of mercury underneath. And it's
like the Chinese pyramids.
Right. And there is also one they found in Mexico that had a lot of mercury in it. And it's because both of those, I believe, mercury as water conduct electricity pretty well, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm pretty
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Yes, sir. What happened to
I'm
Matt?
really
He
surprised
disappeared?
that. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Matt said something
Good to
about
be
us
back.
being too gay, and he had
Yeah,
the dick.
yeah, yeah.
I don't
No,
understand
well,
what that meant.
You're wearing a dragon. Go on, Mark. What were you going to say?
No, I was just saying I'm really surprised that Indiana Jones, those movies never tackled this particular thing, because that's one of the things. There he goes, right there. That's the man right there. But yeah, because I mean, I was always fascinated with that angle in Indiana Jones, like ancient civilizations that are
Mhm.
linked to ancient powers as well,
Yes.
like things that we consider to be supernatural or, unnatural,
Yep.
but that's linked to
Yeah.
legend and things like that from that culture. So why shouldn't we explore that a little bit more? What they used to believe
Yep.
and things like that,
Well,
Right.
it's another crazy thing. The idea of the swastika. The swastika, everyone's like, oh, it was an old Buddhist symbol that was bastardized by the Nazis. That symbol is being found all over the world now. Ancient people all over the world use the swastika. Is that also pyramid or
Well,
it's easy-
in reverse, it's a reverse.
I get
sunwheel.
what you're saying, but it's
Yeah.
everywhere, not just Buddhism.
Mhm.
And the Nazis, who were way advanced in their rocketry, sciences, also were hunting down Thor's hammer. They were hunting down the spear of destiny. They were hunting down all these mythological things, that
Right.
occultist things that could there actually be? I mean, I can't see them wasting that much time on certain technologies that were like, all right, Thor's hammer, but maybe there was some weapon that the ancient people said looked like a hammer that controlled the weather.
Yeah.
It's just something you have to think about.
Bro,
that
I
we-
mean, come on, we're all here. We're all here together, somehow bonding, with this energy. I mean, there's a lot of shit out here, man, that we just have not. We cannot wrap our minds around it. That we exist in this way. That we can even take physical form this way to communicate
Right.
with each other. So it's not a stretch of the imagination to think that these things could and are probable, that to be out there.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And touching on what Mike's saying, the Great Pyramid, which first off, no one claims to be built. No one claims how they built it. Like, for a culture that put hieroglyphic, like everything story about every pharaoh and what he accomplished, no one shows them building those pyramids. And you're right, Mike. There's chemical residue on the Great Pyramid in the Grand Chamber that coexists with like some type of either fission or electrical combination of chemicals that can make energy.
It has to do with
Tesla,
the
I believe
limestone caverns underneath
Yes.
the and
Obelisks.
salt water coming in.
Granite obelisks with their quartz. Tesla was tapping into something, and he said he got this information by meditating and having visions. He never thought he was the one actually coming up with these ideas, and he's one of the smartest men we know in history, who gets kind of blackballed, to Einstein, to Edison.
Because free energy sucks, Scott. You can't put
Right.
a price on it. You can't
Right.
market it. That's why we
Right.
went with Edison.
He was
The same reason that-
eccentric.
Same reason that the guy who invented the water powered car was in the 50s or 60s.
hydro-powered. Yeah.
Hydro-powered
No,
cars
that was in the 80s.
disappeared.
80s.
That's right.
Well, it was
disappeared.
another one. There was two of them.
Yep.
They both just disappeared.
There is a way to pull the hydrogen atom from water and be able to use that. They're actually working on that right now. There's I don't know if you know who Randall Carlson is. He dropped
Yes.
a little bomb on Rogan the last time he was on with Graham Hancock, that he has been working with this company that has been figuring out frequency and Tesla energy and things like that, and
Using quartz?
using like natural ley lines of the earth and using the energy from there and the sky to use wireless energy. I don't know if they're using quartz. Quartz is what's amazing about like quartz crystals is that a small crystal can hold a lot of data. Now, I don't understand how they actually get the data in there, but it can hold computer people like it could be something that we could use for. Oh, wait a minute, Tina, you might know.
Well, that was also all the sci-fi from around that time. I mean, you think of Next Generation, all those rectangle shapes, those crystals they were pulling in and out of the ship that was holding memory. And you had stuff like that, even as far
Superman.
back as the original Battlestar Galactica. So there you go. Exactly. So we all knew that it was possible. We didn't know how to do it.
Right. Now, have they figured a way? Because I swear I heard something like that.
Now I remember, and this is going back very many years from when I was an undergrad, and I remember them talking about trying to store and how they could use crystal to store even holographic images.
Right. Yeah, I did hear about that.
Wow.
But like this is going back like now we're talking early to mid 90s, so I can only imagine that they've progressed, either that or it's been suppressed again.
Right. There is an idea that the real crystal skulls, because there's a lot of people saying they have crystal skulls, but the ones that they're proven that are but the real ones that are ancient, they believe that there is data, and we just need to figure out how to pull it from that crystal. That will give us like the Akashic records and things like that. Like Brian's talking about Tesla saying he access.
Well, I mean, think about how even though we had so much technology to get to the moon and to send out space probes and whatnot, when we sent that one probe that had all of the disk and everything, they sent instructions for both DOS and Apple. Like how one-sided do we think? Well, geez, when the alien comes, we better send them a DOS version, a PC version and an Apple version, because which one are they going to be using? I mean, come on, it's just so absolutely scary to me.
Well, one cool one, and I don't believe in all crop circles, but I do believe that some of them are too hard to explain, where they don't the actual like wheat or grass that is bent isn't broken at all. It hasn't been stomped. It actually grows better after the effect. And there was dude, you have to look into crop circles. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. But crop circle, that disc you're talking about was a response. They have a crop circle that was a response. So the response to Carl Sagan's message, here it is. Let me see if I can find the crop circle that had it. Here it is. And actually, I probably should find a video because they actually explain like what they responded with. And it is crop circle, maybe this one. So give me 1 second, and I will find it for you.
Okay.
You guys keep talking.
In the meantime, hi Tina, how are you?
I'm doing really, really well. I'm working on a project at work that's taking all of my time and energy that will be done on April 1st. And then I plan to nerd out again more often, which I have not been doing as much.
That is awesome. I have been watching Marvel movies 24/7 on Shore TV, which is awesome, guys. $25. And you get all paid channels, all local channels across the country, 24-hour movie channels, 24-hour kid channels. Awesome deal. I've been doing that. And I'd also like to say that we were having a very manly genitalia gay talk before you showed up, and then it stopped and Mad left, and I don't know why all of those things came together when you showed up. That's
really scary. It's either the estrogen, or I'm just finally the classy lady in the room, which has like never happened in reality. So
we'll say you're classy, but we're afraid we're gonna get shot, Chicago. All right, that's kind of what it is.
All right, here it is. Ready?
It's good to see you, T.
But soon, an astonishing similarity is discovered. In 1974, the astronomer Carl Sagan composed a message that NASA sent into space from the Arecibo telescope in Puerto Rico. Binary figures which constituted a graphic code presenting key factors about humans and the planet we live on. 27 years later, an identical pattern appears in a crop field right in front of a similar radio telescope. However, on closer inspection, it seemed to show that the code contained some fundamental differences. Sagan's message explained our calculation system, the dominant chemical substances within the elements that create life on Earth, about our DNA code, humans' height and quantity, and that we live on the third planet in our solar system, and lastly, a sketch of our radio telescope. The message received described the same calculation system, but that silicon is most dominant in life forms in contrast to carbon. The drawing also clearly shows a humanoid figure with large head in relation to its body. It's also explained that they have an extra string in their DNA, are approximately 4 feet tall, inhabit the third, fourth, and fifth planets in their solar system, and have a population of around 21.3 billion.
Wow.
Underneath, the telescope has been replaced by something more complex.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah,
Deep.
yeah, and that crop circle happened overnight. Okay.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and you know, people are like, oh, crop circles are ridiculous, and you will find some. And okay, so these two guys came forward, these two old timers, like we're the ones that did all the crop circles. Their stories never added up. Okay, and but science and the media were like, okay, these are the guys who did it. We're done, because a lot of them happened in England. But there are crop circles where like there's radioactivity found after the day after it wasn't there and it was there.
Right.
And because of that radioactivity, these plants where it bends grow these nodules, and from the nodule up, the plant grows bigger and it produces more vegetation. Like if it's like a flowering plant, it'll grow more flowers. If it's like, let's say, green beans, it will grow more larger green beans. Like it's just wheat. The wheat nodules will be much bigger.
I get a crop circle on my crotch.
Yeah, I mean, you need it. It's very interesting to me though. Like crop circles are something that we wrote off as a joke because there was a whole show about crop circles, and it was a misinformation. The government promised this guy they would help him out, and then they made him look like a fool. And it was all a setup, dude. And it's a really good episode of, I don't think it's like Ancient Aliens, but it is a interesting show. I believe I saw on the History Channel that you should check out.
So, okay. One of the questions I've always had about crop circles is, okay, why a crop circle? Why give this information in this way and it not just be direct, hijack all of the, the TV or radio waves and then just say something, but then, or give a message. But then on the other hand, if the story's about what aliens or what extraterrestrials are doing with nuclear, with our nukes, which is, flying over, just shutting them down, turning them on, shutting them off, if they do that, then wouldn't that mean they're a little mischievous? Wouldn't that be kind of a mischievous race?
A lot of people believe it's not that. What it is that we're a very interesting planet that is not found everywhere in the universe. And they're trying to tell us, you need to shut this shit down because we will not allow you to destroy this planet. Like literally, we don't need to be here. The planet's what's important to them.
Talking on this subject, one of the reasons why I like doing, I'm totally plugging Immortal Coil, Savage Spirituality, 11 p.m. Pacific time. Immortal Coil, he has a lot of theories on this. We talk a lot about aliens, extraterrestrial races, and he says that extraterrestrials have been coming to this world for a long time, which is, which could be evident. You can see in like ancient structures and religious tombs, but that they have been working genetically or, playing, not toying with, but like kind of guiding the human race or interjecting their own genomes within it. And that's one of the reasons why we're like I guess you would say a laboratory We're kind of like a laboratory for some of these races, which is why they
Mhm.
interfere and they don't want us to destroy ourselves. We're representatives genetically from several different races who have played with our genome over the last however hundreds, thousands, millions of years, whatever.
So we've
whatever
taken a lot of
amount.
their time. We've taken a lot of their time and their money and their energy to
Yes.
set up this perfect experiment. So they're going to prevent. It's kind of like when you have the little ant pill, in fourth
Yeah.
grade, and
Well,
you just
look at the
Right.
Anunnaki story. I mean, the Anunnaki
yeah.
created us to be pretty much slaves to mine gold. Because gold is used. They
Not just
used
any
it.
gold, but white gold. That it's a particular
Because
type of
in
gold.
in the story, their atmosphere was failing, and they were using it to send particles into their atmosphere to help thicken it so that
Mhm.
they wouldn't collapse. The idea, though, that this ancient Sumerian culture came up with this very detailed alien story as their religious belief,
Yeah.
as their creation story.
And eventually the reptilians, Tiamat, the dragons,
Yeah.
the reptilians were expelled and the humans won. And you see that history, you see that story in some form over and over
China.
again through ancient texts. The old gods taking over, destroying and sending them to the TARDIS, destroying the ancient gods.
Right.
It's it's when you hear or read, when you read these texts or you hear about them over and over again and see the similarities that span over thousands of years from different cultures, there is a wisdom in it. There is an innate wisdom that talks about these things from the Bible all the way back, to every religious text. It's there. It's just recognizing it. And I think that we have seen the evidence or collected it over the last several, last several thousand years or however, whatnot.
Yeah.
But I believe that a lot of that information is being suppressed and has been for over the last 100 plus years.
Well, because it's all about money. It's money.
It's got to be about money. It has to be about control.
It's control and
And
money.
I could see us definitely being on somebody's experimental table. I think absolutely, just socially, we're being like manipulated.
Poked and
When you
prodded.
see the differences of generations, how it's almost demonized to think, really, it's like everybody is, going with the flow, and those of us who go against it. But I think it's always been that way anyway. I guess human nature is always to demonize people who think differently. But it's even more so now. I think it's really kicked up where we don't value um, ancient wisdom. It's like
Yes.
we were talking before. People are not even interested in that anymore. So, I always joke about this in my videos where I say it's like people really want to believe that history just started yesterday.
Right.
They don't want to acknowledge what came before. So there's a certain danger in that. But I see it's also being encouraged. So, you know what I mean? It's not just human nature. It's there's some manipulative thing that's happening here. You know what I mean?
Right. And
So,
I agree. And I believe
Well
there's
said.
two different forces out there. You have and they're using if it's not human, they're using humans. So you have the spiritual idea of rising above and raising us to another level where we all get along and we all realize that we're the same. And then you have the combative ones that always want us involved in conflict because it keeps your eye conflict TikTok, Facebook, X. Watch this movie. Oh, did you hear what that person said? They want us so full of information that's not important.
Because if you destabilize a person emotionally, then you remove their ability
And
to see things
spiritually.
clearly. And
I don't-
spiritually,
yeah.
absolutely. Well, I think that adds into it, because I think your emotions cloud your spirit. If they're unchecked, or if you keep someone hyper vigilant, hyper aggressive, or defensive, then they're blinded not only to being able to perceive and cognitively think about the experience they're seeing around them, but they're also spiritually cut off from source.
Right.
It's
Think about this. When 2020-ish, they started talking about more, naval reports and Air Force reports of unidentified UAPs, UFOs and UAPs, and we don't know how fast they are, and this and that. And a lot of it was about we cannot defend our national airspace from these things. So what they want us to believe is fear. They want you to believe these things that could easily probably crush us and hasn't yet wants to crush us. You know, they want us to be fearful so they can control that. Because look, you know, I'm sorry, we have manufactured wars, you know, to keep us the machine rolling. And
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it is what it is. So
you familiar
you know,
with Project Looking Glass? You know,
yes,
with
yeah.
that stuff, right? So they know the end is coming. They know they're trying to extend the game at this point before ever we all wake up, before the awakening happens. So that's why I believe we're getting this fearful information, this pressing of fear over us over and over again at this point. You know, they don't want an awakened human race. They don't want us to understand how connected we are. They don't want us to understand the true nature of reality and that we're all one and part of what you would call God. They don't want that. They want to have control over the narrative. That is,
Well,
we're going to suffer the consequences.
We just came off of probably one of the biggest experiments ever. Yeah, where, you know, I think unfortunately we as a world showed them that we're ready for like the ultimate manipulation. You know what I mean? Because they told us to do something, gave us very few reasons why and details of why and stuff, and people just lined up and did it. You know what I mean? Out of fear. You know, here, take this, give it to your children, you know, and everybody just did it, man. It's like under what circumstance, like ever, has it ever been this way where nobody was asking questions or encouraged to ask questions? If you did ask questions, you're immediately shut down. Subsequently, you see people falling out, you know, dying, but don't ask. Ask. You will be attacked.
Right.
You know, so, and you see these people making multi-billions of dollars pushing this on people, and you're protecting them.
That you
But
have no,
what about
you
us?
have no rights against. You have no way to go against them because they have signed off from the government that they're protected.
Yeah.
The last time this happened was World War II, maybe? I don't know.
Could these be the same people that have been trying to tell us not to be upset that autism is impacting the young male population 100-fold more than it was 50 years ago?
Yeah, it's the same ones that are trying to suppress male testosterone and the idea of what it is to be a man. You know what I mean? Like, you're not allowed to be angry.
Confusing
you're not
the
allowed to show
generals.
force. Yeah, that's
Keep
what
in
happens
mind,
with
families were separated. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Loved ones turned on one another. You know, I had a
Yes.
good personal friend whose wife passed away alone because the family wasn't allowed to go into the hospital. You know what I mean? It's like that is fucking weird, man. You know, that we would even allow something like that to happen. She's gone, she's never coming back, and this is their memory of how she left. You know?
And the doctors know how much your psychological health impacts your physical health, that your emotions impact your physical health. So you imagine someone who's getting sicker and sicker and sicker in the hospital, and they're getting nothing. No joy, no comfort, no anything. Not to
No
say that the medical
reinforcement.
staff wasn't doing their job, because some of those people were very saintly in the fact that they were leaving their families at home to take care of people and possibly expose them to something that we were told to be afraid of.
Yes.
But these anyone who was in the hospital couldn't get any relatives to visit them. No loved ones visiting them. No
And
nothing.
and
It's
I'm such a
horrible.
big believer in being an advocate. When you go into the hospital or one of your loved ones go into the hospital, you better be there with them, or someone
Hell
better
yeah.
be there with you. You know, there is no guarantee that they will be treated with dignity and respect
Amen.
without their loved ones being there. You know, it's like I've had people in that position where, you know, something happened and, you know, we had to be there, you know, question, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? You know, if nobody is allowed to be up there, then there's nobody who loves you.
Right.
And there's nobody who cares. You know, so like I said, that was a massive psyop in that way, where we just showed, we sent them a huge message that we're ready for whatever it is that you want to do. We're ready right now, because we've already proven that we're not going to stand together.
Right.
You know,
We're
going to go
actually
for
going to try to
whatever.
attack the people that stand up and try to wake us up and say, no, I'm not going to do this. And now we have PSAs about high school athletes having cardiac arrest. Like that went up like 1,000%, 1,000%. But there's no correlation, right? There's no correlation. So don't worry.
I have friends and family members whose cancers were in remission and came back. But not only did it come back, but it came back strong.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
so
Did you
so it's
hear?
like yeah. Go
I'm
ahead, bro.
You've
sorry.
heard of the
No, no,
two
no.
turbo cancers, haven't you? The ones where someone gets sick and within 4 months they've gone from stage 1 to stage 4.
Yeah,
Yep,
but did you hear
that's what I'm
Biden
talking
in
about.
his speech the other night? He said, "We have the vaccine, and we will be, and we're seeing if we could use it for cancer." Like he literally said, they're using this vaccine to fight cancer. What?
That's
But yet
evil. That's some evil shit, bro.
we were told we
Yeah.
couldn't see loved ones, and we had to lock ourselves down for weeks, and then now they're telling us treat it like the flu. Like
Mhm.
Mhm.
they played us to they played us like fiddles. And
Yeah.
the thing is that this has happened in times past. The whole gender thing is anytime you look at a civilization that has reached its peak and now is about to fall, gender is one of the biggest things they think about. Look at
Absolutely.
look at Roman artwork and what they were dealing with towards the end of Rome. Like, it's all this hedonistic and this weird gender stuff. And it's because you are a first world nation and you don't have to worry where your meal's coming from the next day, most people.
Mhm.
So you worry about stupid shit. I think we
Yeah,
need
and
to
the
get
people at the
back
top have
spiritually.
special, and the
Yeah.
people at the top have special places where they can take children, and that kind of leads to an acceptance of
Yeah.
Mhm.
going down of
I
certain
believe
behaviors
Monday
that are
we're getting information on Monday from Florida's sealed grand jury stuff with Epstein. DeSantis
Really?
signed, he signed some bill
Actually
to
going to
open
get
up the
something.
books. He signed the bill to
Yo,
open up
shout
the
out to
books.
that. I forget the name of that UFC fighter that's like just told the media and the government until you release the logs. I think y'all are this.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Mhm.
yeah, bro. It's
Yeah.
time for
Mhm.
people to start speaking up. It's been years now. Why do we not know who these clients were? Go to the
Yeah.
dark web. Why do we not know?
Yeah. And I just want
Yeah.
to shout out. I see Toxic out there talking to E Clay and Zach. So good to see you, Tox. Small time Republic too. Great point. Hungry people never worry about pronouns. Yeah, they don't.
Yep.
They don't.
Mhm.
And there is so much, so many like far to one side or the other, and I think that is artificially generated. So we fight each other. The
Absolutely.
mind.
Keep the population.
Yeah.
Just to control the media, control the mind, to stable the
Yes.
population and have them fighting one another, and they don't care what the rich people at the top are doing.
Yes.
And
Look at our media, both sides. It feels like it's state funded. You have to find, free access, free brought to you by Pfizer, sites on the internet, and also do the research. If you see an article about something, look elsewhere for different answers. But something I find interesting, we were just talking about a minute ago is, and we'll end on this, is the Mayans talk about there was 5 cycles of humanity. And if you look to our history, there it's pushing back farther and farther. Man in our form is about 300,000 years old now. And you're telling me in 200 and about 50,000 years to actually almost 290,000 years, we just were hunter and gatherers. And then all of a sudden we decided, let's start growing shit and let's get into cities. Only in the last like 10,000 years. That's ridiculous to think about. And I believe stone is the proof. These massive blocks that we have trouble moving today, in Iran, in Iraq, in Egypt, these massive formations that the Egyptians, the Romans never take credit for, must be from an ancient society. And we just, because of grants, because of funding, they do not want to give more answers out because you'll lose your credibility and your funding. And that's what the academia world is all about. Archaeology and academia is about funding, and it's bullshit. Yep.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I had a lot of fun though tonight. We're gonna close it out though. We went for about an hour and a half, a little more, and we'll try to keep it to around that, unless we get really good topics going. And I think we did have good topics tonight. I really enjoyed it. But I don't want to push it on the days I have to work Sunday. First Sunday off in a long time tomorrow, baby.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. 7 days a week is tough. but I appreciate you guys for being here. I hope you guys are here every Saturday. We have our Monday show, which we talk about fantasy, mostly A Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and our new show will be Thursday night at around 8:00, where we'll be talking anime. Myself, Biggles met, Fatal J said he'd be there, Damaj and I, and hopefully a couple others. So that might be
anime.
Our panel.
What anime you covering, dude?
Any and all. Mostly isekai to start because that's what I'm over. So we'll talk, man. I know you like anime. So yeah, and I'd like to thank Mark and Walton and Tina and Mad Cheesemo even for being on the show. Would you like to promote anything starting with Walton?
First, I'd like to say, Mark, that is a spectacular hat. I could hardly look into your misty eyes. It was good to see you guys.
Misty eyes? What the fuck was that?
So they're magical. Guys, thank you so very much for being here. I am less than 10 subscribers away from 9,000 over on Low Donis Dragon Storm. So if you have been through a situation with a narcissistic person, if you've been through a bad relationship, if you need some positivity, come on over to my channel, Adonis Dragonstorm. We do a show called The Sage and the Savage with Immortal Coil every Sunday. Come check that out. We talk about spiritual topics, and Hollywood had a great stream last week. And appreciate you guys very much. Please remember to subscribe to this channel if it's your first time here. Like and take care of all these wonderful people on the panel. I am author Stephen Walton, the Fandom Menace historian, your historian, born in the chats of the High Council with my brothers and sisters fighting for our modern mythologies. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Be good to each other, yet suffer no fools. Peace.
Thank you, Walton. Mark, you got anything you'd like to share?
Dude, there's no way to follow that, man. I just want to say thank you for having me on. And, just come through the channel. I do my ranting and raving. And, one thing is that you're always going to get what's on my mind. I just talk to you about what's going on, my opinion about things. And, I encourage back and forth conversation. Just no bullshit in the comment section. Then I'll have to shut you down. But, basically, it's all good and it's all fun. So once again, thank you. And to everybody out there, be safe and definitely wash your hands and wash your ass.
And look at those eyes. Just look at the the hat distracted me from. Look at this. God, if I was a white woman, I'd be all over you, Mark.
Yeah. Okay. We were just talking about gendership or whatever. Tina, what's up?
Thank you.
Let's see. Not a lot going on, like I said, because of work, but I'm having what I'm calling a religious experience tomorrow afternoon around 4:00. So actually closer to evening. They are showing Labyrinth, the original David Bowie Labyrinth, in my local theater. We've had tickets for weeks.
Tina.
I cannot wait to go. I mean, I haven't been this excited to see a movie in a really long time, and it's one I've seen probably 100 times.
Well, you dance magic dance, Tina. You do that,
Thank
baby.
you. I will.
All right.
But other than that, I'm wherever this guy is all the time. So just go find him, and you'll see me tagging along. So hopefully I'll just come with a channel whenever I get a chance. But I say that all the time.
You rock. I like to
see Scott's eyes just aren't as glowy and beautiful as Mark's. I think you should just let Mark up on the screen and do your outro.
I think you shut the fuck up, Walton. Anyways, hey, thank you everybody for being here tonight. Today is the first day in about 9 months where it shows a plus sign for subscribers on my channel. So thank you so much. We have lost about 75. So working our way back up to 6 grand. Thank you everybody for being here. Keep an eye out for Monday and Thursday streams and some shorts. I'll be chopping this video up, stream up for some shorts. I'd like to just thank you all for all the support. The chat has been awesome. Love seeing people come through. Make sure you share it out and let people know that, we're not just talking about Hollywood. We're talking about it all. And, just definitely wash your hands, and you should really keep your ass clean. So he is right on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you everybody. Have a great night. Take care. You loser.
This music makes me feel like the Greys are going to come into my room and tase me.
We just talked at the worst part, amazing Grey Fool.
Aluminum Spork.
Good night, everybody.